One of our dreams and our goals is to have seminars and retreats here to where people can come here and heal. And what I mean by that is whether it's their marriage or whether it's just their life or whether it's their spiritual life, their emotional life. We want to create an environment here that when people come through our gate, and the gate's way down there, but when people come through our gate, that they feel something. And the number one thing I want them to feel is the love of God. I want us to be able to give out the abundance of the love of God right here at the Welch Family Homestead. That is our number one goal. Another goal that we want to create here that I have, it's a passion of mine, is history. I'm up here in the Smoky Mountains and the Appalachian Forest, and one of the most beautiful places on earth. It is gorgeous here, and it's peaceful here. It's quiet here. Uh, I'm a distance from the road. The camera does pick up long distance sounds because I'm videoing from my phone here today. But and you can hear my dog breathing as he's waiting for me to throw the frisbee again. And now, one of the goals in the history side of things is to teach people how to do things the way it was done in the 1800s, early 1900s, maybe even further back than the 1800s. Skill sets that have lasted, that have texture, that has purpose, that has sustainability, things that you can do that no matter what happens with modern technology, then regardless of what happens with modern technology, there are methods and ways to preserve food, to process food, to grow food. We do everything organically here on the farm the way they did back in the 1800s. We also want, when everyone walks through the gates here, drives through our gates, and they park and they get out and they go through here, we want them to feel as though they're leaving the time period that we live in now and that they're going back in time into the 1800s, so that every structure that we build here and everything that you look around is as if you're walking back in time. We want that feeling of walking back in history and to give that ambiance of the Welch Family Homestead as if you're going back to those days when the beams were hewn and they had texture, and we're going to build a chapel, and it's going to be built out of material from the farm here, from our forest, and it's going to be built with tools that were around many years ago. We want to build a nice pavilion, a place for people to sit and gather in groups to learn different skill sets and methods that that they need to know before those methods and skill sets are lost. We also want to teach people how to farm. Farming is sustainability. Listen, when God created the earth and he created mankind, then he decided to create the man, Adam, and his mate, Eve. And this couple, where did he put that couple, Adam and Eve? He put them in the Garden of Eden. It's almost as if God is telling us that the farmer is special. Can we throw it to you again? Okay, here we go. He will go all day if I let him. He loves to fetch. Beautiful Labrador. His name is Fontana. So God created mankind, but it's amazing that he put Adam and Eve in a garden. It's amazing that the story that we all are bound to or bonded to within our Christian faith, or if you're Jewish, in your Jewish faith, it is tied back to that creation moment. It's tied back to the Garden of Eden. It also isn't amazing that when Jesus was about to be arrested and taken in and crucified, where did he pray? He prayed in that Garden of Gethsemane. Gardens. Gardens are great also, but isn't it amazing that we also have farmers that were raising animals as well? You had shepherds that attended Jesus' birth. You also had Jesus born in a stall and in a barn. Isn't it amazing that King David was a shepherd boy? Isn't it amazing that when you look throughout the entire history of the Bible, it seems to be centered and focused so much around farmers? Look at Moses. Look at Abraham. Look at all these different ones that were in the shepherding of sheep. And look at Joseph as he enters into Egypt as a captive, as someone who was imprisoned by Egypt, but he worked his way up to be one of the notables of Egypt. But yet, how did he do that? He taught them how to store their wheat, and he brought to them the message of God about the drought soon to come, a prophetic message, and he taught them that they needed to store the wheat and put that away for their sustainability. We can learn so much from the best guidebook in our existence called the Bible, and we do want that to be the center of attention here at the Welch Family Homestead. But we also want the love of God to be first and foremost here. We're living in a world of turmoil. We're living in a world of problems. We're living in a world of uncertainty. But it doesn't mean that we ourselves can't offset that greatly by sharing the attitude and the love of God, the love of Christ to the world around us. You see, Jesus said in the Great Commission, that's what it's called, when Jesus was giving us direction, he said, go to Jerusalem, then to Judea, then to Samaria, and then the uttermost parts of the world. What he was saying there is go in your back door first. Go in your immediate surroundings first. Go in your small town and community first. One of the things that we have forgotten to do is, now that we have social media and we're global with everything that we do, it seems that we go global first with everything that we try to accomplish instead of creating community. There's nothing more powerful than to create the community, camaraderie environment that is to be established to grow anything. The church is millions and millions of people around the world today, but it started out with Jesus and 12 disciples, and one of those abandoned him and was a traitor. Think about just 11 plus Jesus. He left those 11 with a mission to go into all the world and to take the gospel. You know what the gospel means? You know what that Greek word euangelion means? It actually means the good news. The good news. That's what it means, euangelion. The Greek word euangelion means the good news. That's what the Bible is. It's the evangel, the euangelion, the good news. And when you hear the word evangelist, which we all are in our own way, that's the euangelistes. And we go out and evangelize, which is euangelitomai. All these Greek words coming together to euangelion, meaning the good news is carried out to the world by the good news speakers, the people who will be willing to carry that good news. Here at the Welch Family Homestead, we want to be our part of carrying forth that good news. What is that good news? The good news is complex. When Jesus rose from the dead and he left that tomb, there's something special that took place when he did that. Obviously, there was a burial cloth, and then there was also a different one over his face. It's interesting that the burial cloth was thrown to the side when he rose from the dead and left the tomb empty. It's another thing that we miss sometimes is he laid the face cloth, the cloth that was on his face, he folded it and laid it to the side neatly. There was a custom during that time, and there's still a custom today in many countries, that when you're at a table and you're eating, and when you're leaving the table for good, you just basically wad up the napkin, the cloth, and you just throw it onto the plate. You're done. You're through with your meal. You're giving a signal to the servers that you're done. Then the other way to say that you're not done is that you take that cloth, the napkin at the table, and you fold it up. You either lay it in your chair or you lay it beside your plate. And that is symbolic of saying, I will be back. The good news that we are to talk to people about and to share and to live out is the expression that Jesus not only came here to complete the covenant and to give us an opportunity to live beyond the law of guilt, sin, and shame, but he gave us that salvation to free us from the indebtedness that we have as humans of not to have lived up to what was our expectations all the way back to Adam and Eve when they partook of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It started all the way back then. But isn't it amazing that Jesus gave us that pathway out of that condemnation of sin? Great. But when he folded that napkin and laid it to the side, instead of just wadding it up and throwing it around in that tomb when he left, he was telling us, I will be back. I'll be back to the table. I'll be back to the table of sustenance. I'll be back to the table that is of abundance from the garden of life. And God has given us that garden of life and given us that blessing of sustainability. And we here at the Welch Family Homestead want to embrace all that in one big picture, and that is with the love of Christ exploding out into the world, letting everyone know that this is a place that puts God first. And family is always put first if God is put first. We know that. So anyway, I know I'm rambling here a little bit today, but this is going to hopefully touch someone and to allow them to understand that I'm making a transition from being CEO of companies to focusing more on what we have planned here at the Welch Family Homestead. We're going to be expanding our channel. We're going to expand what we're doing. We're going to be opening up a new website with the welchfamilyhomestead.com that will be live soon. We're going to have products, swag. We're going to have t-shirts and hats and other things. But we're also going to have products that will be coming from the homestead here that is going to be good for you. And also we're going to have seminars, training that will change your life. And we're going to be doing a lot of construction here on the homestead that's going to benefit people's lives in so many ways. And we want you, we haven't figured all that out yet, but we want you to be part of that so that you can say, I was part of that. I participated in it in my way. And we're going to give people an ability to do that as well. But first and foremost, the best way you can help us is to subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Welch Family Homestead. And we appreciate that so much. And get the word around. Ask other people to subscribe to our channel here as well. Watch our videos. Go through our videos and watch all of them if you can. Just a little bit here and a little bit there, and take them all in. And share with people the videos that you've watched and say, hey, you've got to see this, watch this, subscribe to this channel. And I know that we haven't been as professional as some other channels on YouTube because we're just now learning how to do it. And but we'll get there, and we appreciate your patience as we do. And we're also going to be reaching out for help from people who have different skill sets that can help our channel be better, and to participate in our development and growth here at the Welch Family Homestead YouTube channel. So thank you so much. God bless you. May you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. This is Jeff Welch at the Welch Family Homestead. God bless you and your family. You hear me throw it? You hear me throw it? Let me throw it to you. Ready? Here we go.